Welcome back. We have in the studio Kemi Busari of DUBAWA. Hello, Kemi. Thank you for joining us.
Hi, Amaka.
It's been a long day, and we're not even halfway into what we have put ourselves up against. But then, of course, it's for the greater good of the nation, and we're working for democracy. Tell me about the kinds of misinformation. But first, we'll be to ask you to tell us the kind of work you do at DUBAWA.
Okay. My name is Kemi Busari. I'm the editor of DUBAWA. DUBAWA is a fact-checking and verification platform, and we are currently committed to the Nigerian election through our coalition, which we call the Nigerian Fact-Checkers Coalition. So the coalition is the coming together of several fact-checking platform and media organizations such as Africa Check, DUBAWA, Fact Check, or Premium Times, The Cable, and a few others. So we currently have a situation room in Lagos, one in Abuja, and one in the UK. So we opened the situation room at about 5 a.m. today, and we've been able to fact check over 20 mis and disinformation relating to the election so far.
If you were asked to state one mis or disinformation that you found very ridiculous. Now, I say ridiculous because we've seen various advocacy and campaign around how people should not just, take hook, line, sinker, whatever they see on the internet. And we've also seen people say, oh, you can't afford to believe social media yet. When they see stuff thrown on social media, they pick it up when it's, matches their bias or favors whatever school of thought they belong to. So what disinformation or misinformation have you seen today? And when you see it, like, how can we be so ridiculous?
Yeah, I think there are a couple of that. One of it early in the day was a tweet by some folks on Twitter saying that Peter Obi has stepped down for Atiku. And in less than 1 hour, we saw another one which says Atiku has stepped down for Peter Obi and asked some of his supporters to. I had a couple of calls from people to also ask, has Peter Obi actually stepped down, as Atiku stepped down and all. So for me, that seems a bit ridiculous because, of course, there could be some later step downs and all, but we realized that some of the people that shared this thing shared it just for malicious reasons. And don't be surprised, a lot of people believed it when they saw it online. Another one close to that was a video that was shot in Ghana, I think in the 2016 election or 2020, I'm not sure about which of the two now, of some armed men going into a polling unit and eventually getting shot by police at the polling unit. So some people claim it to be, in fact, there was a tweet which at the last count had close to 200 retweets of someone claiming that this is happening in my polling unit. I'm seeing it live. And that is wrong. It's false. It's just a video that has been recirculated since a few years ago. So I think those two stand out as some ridiculous claims for me so far today.
There was this viral message on both WhatsApp and Twitter on how people could verify their polling units using SMS, sending SMS to some digits. Did you fact check that too?
So we did the fact check on that about 3 to 4 weeks ago, and it's no surprise that it came up again today. People really want to know where their polling unit is, and so we did a fact check, and we reached out to INEC. They disowned the short code, I think 8014. And we also tried to use it based on our independent verification, and we realized that it really didn't work as it was claimed. So we tried to recirculate it today so that people can understand that it doesn't work and it's not from my neck.
Yeah, interesting. A very interesting audio made the rounds, I think 2 days ago or yesterday, and it was shared widely for agenda rather best known to whatever group brought it up. But one thing stood out for me, that Nigeria is growing. Technology is improving, but as we see, in the wrong direction.
Yeah.
We keep hearing deepfakes. And for me, I would say that this is the first of its kind we're seeing in Nigeria. Now, a group of people were talking and sounding like, the presidential candidate of the PDP, Atiku Abubakar, and we also heard the name of the Sokoto State Governor, Tambuwal, and they were plotting to rig an election, and Okowaya. And then, it beats me that we're not discerning enough. And one would argue that, oh, we are discerning after all, so why not? How can we, or how would we fall for such things? But then you saw people yesterday were retweeting and sharing massively, oh, PDP is planning to rig the elections. And you wonder, if I was planning to rig an election, would I have this kind of conversation?
Exactly.
And I know you did, your
We did
group
some fact check
did a
on it
fact
here.
check around that. So how were you able to dispel and bust the bubbles? I like to use that
So,
of this group.
so I would like to state that we've been seeing a couple of deepfakes in Nigeria, especially towards this election. I could remember vividly one where I think Peter Obi was made to campaign for an opposition candidate. There was another of some Hollywood actors coming together to lend support to a particular candidate, and a few others like that. So it's been with us for a while, and then like in the other elections in Europe, and also like we saw in the US in the last election, people are deploying more deepfakes to sway the voters' choice for election. So for this particular one, we saw it yesterday, and we subject it to some technical tests, and we later realized that some of the audio were extracted from some other audio. They tried to put everything together. They tried to synchronize the voice and what have you, and made it appear that these people are having this conversation. So we were eventually able to have a breakthrough today, and we published that. So, and talking about Nigerians' reaction to it, I think we are still at that stage where emotions and our affiliations drive a lot of the things we do. So, for instance, someone who is supporting the opposition candidate, hearing such, the first thing that comes to mind is not, oh, how can I fact check this? How can I know whether it is true or false? The first thing that comes to their mind is, oh, these people want to rig an election. So let's share this widely so that people can understand. So, but we are trying our best at the Nigerian Fact-Checkers Coalition. We have done a lot of fact checks today. Some of our partners are also producing some of these fact checks in local languages. And eventually, maybe towards the end of the day, we still produce some of them in video formats so that people can easily get accurate information.
Now, this is the point where I ask you to help educate Nigerians. The process is not over. I'm sure that in no distant time we'll start to see elections results,
Exactly.
even before elections are concluded in various parts of the country. So help educate Nigerians on how to spot disinformation, misinformation, what we popularly call fake news.
So first thing I will say is we all need to see this as our responsibility. It's not only the journalists that should fact check information. It's not only the educated ones. All of us, we have a responsibility. So what I'll tell Nigerians is, first of all, every kind of information that comes to you at this period, try to be very critical about it. It's very dangerous for you to take any information hook, line, and sinker. And if you are not able to ascertain the truthfulness of an information, please don't share. One of the few things you can do is you can reach out to a fact-checking organization or a media platform, a credible media platform, to know whether an information is actually true or false. And always at the back of your mind that it doesn't hurt when you don't share it.
So are there like quick tools on how, Nigerians users can actually fact check by themselves? Basic things to note. For instance, when I listened to the audio, perhaps because of my line of job, when I listened to the audio, the first thing was say, if I was going to steal, I wouldn't tell anyone I was going to steal.
Exactly.
And of course, Atiku Abubakar is known as Waziri, and they won't be calling each other's name like full names in the way they were calling their names in that audio file. And you wonder, how then can we spot those little things? How do I see a picture and I'm able to say, oh, I'm able to raise questions in my head?
Okay. So sometimes seeing false information, just making some calls could help you to discern that. Sometimes if you see images, we do what we call reverse image search. You can do that on Google if you're able to have access to an Android phone. And sometimes when we see videos, we subject them to some technical tests, for instance, on the in-vid verification tools. And also, I'm aware that some of us might not be able to do all this, but if you're not able to, like I said earlier, there are a lot of fact-checking organizations around. We have Africa Check, we have DUBAWA, we have Fact Check Up, the cable Premium Times does fact checking, and just reach out to them. And maybe I should also take this opportunity to say that for us at DUBAWA, you can send any of the claim that you want us to fact check through our several channels. On Twitter, we are at DUBAWA NG. On Facebook, just DUBAWA. On Instagram, at DUBAWA_official. And we also have a WhatsApp line where you can easily send us some of this claim. And the number is +234 913 116 7621. I take that again. +234 913. Excuse me. I lost the image. Okay, we can. Okay, +234 913 116 7621.
So you've heard directly from Kemi Busari. He's an editor at DUBAWA, and he's helped to educate us on how we can fact check. If you can't do it yourself, there are platforms who you can contact who are readily available to help you check this information out, or whatever it is, pictures, audio files, videos. So we help to reduce the menace of fake news, misinformation, disinformation, because we want a peaceful elections. Especially, we do not want things to degenerate because we could not but share informations we did not verify. So it's important that we keep tabs on ourselves and make sure that whatever we're sharing, we're double sure that it is not mis or disinformation throughout the day. And of course, from now henceforth, since we've learned that it's important not to share information we haven't confirmed yet. Thank you so very much, Kemi, for joining us this
You're welcome,
afternoon here.
Amaka.